Hello, everybody. Since most of us have got a unusual, mainly unwanted amount of time on our hands at the moment, I thought I would go over the interview for Jeff Sokol. Sokol. I'm going to call him that, even if it's pronounced wrong. Yeah, so I did the video, I think it was about a week ago, of his segment of the uncut footage on Hansen V Predator. It was pretty. I thought it was pretty good, actually. I'm not talking about the actual quality of the video. I mean the actual. His segment was quite interesting. I thought. I kind of like those exchanges, as I mentioned in the video. I find them quite interesting. You can gain a lot about someone's character, and it's incredibly entertaining to watch someone in such a situation. It's exactly what brought us all this fascination of TCAP in the first place, isn't it? I think that's mainly what it was for most people. It's like watching these people get caught in such circumstances, Anyway, I have managed to get the police interrogation from Joey's TCAP channel, so I must thank him for that and put a link in the description to a video where he attended his court case. So if you're interested in what happens, it's quite interesting. Something specific that happened in there, which left me with me scratching my head. I'm pretty sure you'll know what it is when you hear it, but definitely have a listen. So yeah, without further ado, shall we get cracking?
Is your advice?
Yes. The promises that were made to me. You understand those rights?
Well, I'm probably gonna have to get a lawyer.
Okay. So we're not going to discuss without the time.
I know that the quality of the actual footage isn't, it's not exactly 4K, is it? But it's not really that important in such matters. The audio is the most important bit. Well, the thing is, you get a sense. There's enough there to sort of see, to get a flavour of how the interrogation's going. You can see the body language, where the position, and you can hear the audio. So I think it's more than enough. I've never fully understood why any of them would speak to the cops without a lawyer, unless you're going to just come clean, which, some of them do. Rolando Resticruz off the top of my head, he's just someone who just fucking blurted it all out, wasn't he? So he's just mulling over it, isn't he? Come on, dude. It's not making for entertaining viewing, this.
I'll talk to him.
What? You fucking moron.
So your address again?
1064 on Beacon Street.
Now, there's no exact science to body language. Different people can use it for different for different means. In other words, you could be aware of how it is generally seen to. You could be aware generally of what body language usually means, so you could use it to your advantage. You know what I mean? If you're aware of it, but generally, I believe that crossing your arms is a classic gesture of defensiveness, uneasiness, shyness, or insecurity, something like that. You know, generally, when a person feels threatened by a situation, they might cross their arms. You know, it's like, I think it's meant as a sort of biological impulse to protect your vital organs. You know, because your forearms and your arms are quite. If you put them in a certain position, you can pretty much cover a lot of your chest. And obviously, the position that he's in,
Brookline?
Yeah.
it's certainly a time to be defensive.
.44?
I'm 44.
And where were you born?
In Brooklyn.
Brookline, Mass.
Right, I've just skipped ahead to when we really
Sex
get down
between
to
you
it.
and the young female, can you just tell me what kind of happened from your standpoint tonight? You're in, I assume, at home in Brookline, and you're corresponding with this younger girl.
I have a bit of a issue with the interrogator already. I don't like his. This is just a personal thing. I'm not saying the guy's a complete twat or anything, but I don't like his communication skills. He speaks in a very low, somber, dreary. Oh, you're gonna meet a young girl. It's like really winds me up when people talk like that. It's like, man, you're fucking a cop. Your communication skills should be fucking paramount. Come on.
Yeah,
It's like sending me to sleep just fucking listening to it.
I was just looking to meet her, and I know you're not going to believe me, but
And what does it generally mean when someone says you're not going to believe me? It's because he knows he's talking shit.
I honestly was not planning on having sex with her.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. And another disclaimer, as I mentioned in the last video, if you're sick about me fucking pausing it, go and watch the actual interview, right? This is an analysis video before anybody jumps in the comments, haha.
You know, the texts talk about that, but
Pausing it often, I know, wind some people up.
I mean, I wasn't planning on having sex with her unless it was bright and legal to do it.
He's like trying to build an airplane. He's trying to sail a boat made of ice. This guy. It's like, what the fuck? You know, I wouldn't have had sex with her unless it was legal. Well, you knew she was underage. You went there after a sexually charged conversation. I mean, the reason I made that bizarre analogy is because he is in an impossible situation to explain away. I don't think he's too bright, really. I sort of get it in some respects because you're in a virtually impossible situation. So it's kind of like, you know, your back's against the wall and you're thinking, fuck it, I'll just see if I can talk my way out of it. But you should have enough sense to know that you've fucking no chance.
I don't know if I would have or not either, but I was not going to.
What do you mean by right and legal to do?
Well, I mean, if I, she seemed like somebody, you know, that was mature and, you know, somebody that, you know, that would be fun to hang out with. And
his voice as well, considering, if you remember from the footage of his his encounter with Chris Hansen, initially he was quite sure of himself and his voice was quite prominent. Now you can detect unease in his voice, like you know, like quivering, a little bit of quivering in his voice. You can tell he's nervous, as you know most people would be. It would take quite a certain amount of strength to remain, to have your posture remain, you know, metaphorically speaking, posture as in, you know, your demeanor, shall we say, and your attitude is probably a better way of saying it.
so I wanted to meet her and find out if she was what I thought she was.
So how long had you been corresponding with her?
Like 3 weeks,
And how'd you meet her?
A chat site.
What was it? Wire club? Is that, what is that? Is it,
It's
kind of a hookup site or something?
No, it's like chat rooms, but I mean, I don't know if it's a hookup site because there's people there that are all over the
Have
world.
you talked to people before? Girls, guys, whatever?
Yeah.
On that particular site?
Yeah.
Have you talked to younger girls before? Today?
What I will say about the interviewer, it does kind of it is a bit. I suppose it's dull from a sort of this perspective, isn't it? It's not very engaging, but it is a more relaxed. If you compare him to the guy that interviewed McFetridge, it's completely different. But it's more inclined for Sokol to relax a little bit. It's more of a chat, an informal chat. It kind of sounds like, because he's not getting in his face, is he? He's not overpowering him with his character.
Or in the last couple of weeks, rather?
No, not that I know of.
And what was the interest in this particular girl? Let me back up a second. Are you married?
No.
Have you been married?
Yeah.
Divorced?
Yeah.
How long?
Like
10 years
10
or more?
11 years, yeah.
Any kids?
No.
What was the reason for the dissolution of the marriage? Any major issue with the ex-wife?
No.
Or she with you?
No, it was just a mutual breakup.
And how about dating and things since then? Do you have relationships? Have you had any recently?
Yeah, I mean, a few here and there, yeah.
What was the last one?
I mean, I had a short one over the summer, a couple months.
How old was she?
41.
The adult woman.
Yeah.
Have you, met or chatted with or visited younger girls before?
Younger, yes, but I mean...
What's your, I don't know, younger than me is probably in their middle 20s. From my standpoint, I'm a little bit older than you, but what's younger to you?
I mean, yeah, I've dated girls in their 30s and 20s.
That's not the fucking question, is it? He's not interested in that, man.
And I mean, this wasn't, I'm sure, the first time you met a girl who was purportedly 12 or so years old, right?
What would you say?
I said, I'm sure this isn't the first time you either chatted with or met with a girl who was, supposedly 12 years old.
I believe it was the first time that I know of.
It was?
I find that a very strange way of putting it question-wise. I'm sure it's not the first time you've chatted with a 12 or 13-year-old girl. Is that supposed to get a confession out of him? Like, I just find that very odd.
Is that what you're saying? It was the first time?
He's not going to like, oh, of course you're right.
I mean, I don't know. You may have an issue or a certain fetish or attraction to younger girls. You probably do.
Yeah, I've never gone to meet a girl that was a teenager.
Never. And why tonight? Just
Good question.
Saturday night, it's got it.
And then immediately, as he said that, his head goes down. You know what I mean? It's like, I think at that point, I think he'll have thought, oh, he's asking me questions about, can I get away with this by saying I've never done it before, and then suddenly, oh, well, I did it, I did it tonight, and then the head goes down. He's like, sort of reminded of the fact that he's completely screwed, that there's no way of explaining, the defensiveness that he's projecting holds no weight with his, with his answers.
The Boston area, right?
I just had nothing to do. I figured we'd just hang out, and I was just gonna drive home later tonight.
You talked, I know in the text there was some mention of a marriage contract. I don't know if it's a religious thing or something else, but what's the deal with the marriage certificate? What was that whole conversation? Or a marriage agreement or a contract you talked about.
I know I was joking at one time when I said, is it in the contract? I was
Was
joking.
there a mention of like bringing some type, maybe it was in jest, but did you mention bringing some type of marriage contract or something like that?
No, it wasn't, no. Bringing something? No.
Did you
No.
mention having her sign it, or you signing it, or both of you signing it? I mean, I can go get the paperwork, unfortunately, an inch thick, but there's some
Shouldn't you have it with
conversation
you?
about that, was it? I just wanna know.
Yeah, there was conversation. There was conversation about that. I was just explaining to her that people could get married by just signing a contract, signing, marriage documents.
But you're talking about a 12-year-old girl, right? And it's kinda,
Yeah.
I think you could
14,
probably even
14,
understand.
but yeah, she said she was 14. But okay.
She was 14?
I know, it's young.
Hang on a minute. She was 14, wasn't she? Why is he saying 12? Well, this guy's not got his facts straight. I don't believe. It's not. I don't understand. I mean, there's many reasons. He could be getting cases mixed up. He could be knackered. Could be disillusioned with his job. But he's not coming across well to me at all.
Maybe I should get some of the texts, so we're both clear about what age she said she was.
She said it wasn't 12.
No?
No.
And 14 is that big of a difference anyways? Like, you're 44?
Different, it's a difference to me.
Because neither are legal, you know that,
Yeah.
right? The age of consent is 16, which is, in my mind, too young also, but he thought she might be 14.
Yeah.
Oh. So these are obviously a copy of some of the text between the two of you. You said you met her, what, give or take 3 weeks ago?
Oh, you know what? Listening to this guy's voice is fucking getting too much.
You're talking about, blowjobs and oral sex and... I'm just, tell me what's going on in your life that we even have you, going down this road. Maybe you've always lived like this.
It's a good question.
It's,
what the fuck is, why the fuck are you in this position? What is going on with you? It's a great question.
it's of concern, obviously, to everybody, 44-year-old guy, you're talking about a 12-year-old girl, and in your mind, maybe she was 14, but it's certainly illegal and, horrible in most people's eyes, right?
And I said that, you could probably read that in there.
And you drive from 2.5 hours away to see this girl.
I didn't think it was against the law to meet with somebody and just hang out and talk to them.
But you probably, I mean, I don't know,
Is it? Is it? Just like hang out with somebody?
To hang out?
If I had sex with...
The arrogance is coming back now, isn't it? His head sort of went forward a little bit towards him. Still got his arms crossed, obviously, but if you watch we'll just go back. His head sort of went forward a little bit, as if to... It's a little bit aggressive, and, it's a way of him kind of to... trying to get some kind of control over the situation, it's...
And just hang out and talk to them.
But you probably, I mean, I don't know you.
Is
Maybe,
it? Is it?
So it
To
leans
just,
forward.
hang
Is
out
it?
with
Is it?
somebody?
You arrogant
to
tosser.
hang out?
If I had sex with her, yeah, that would be against the law. But I didn't
Okay,
do
so
that.
let's just take a step back. So you're,
It's because it's his. It's his only. The only road he's got to go down is that nothing happened. They can't. They want him to admit, for legal purposes, obviously, for court purposes, that yes, I would have had sex with her. That's what I went there for. It helps their case and saves a lot of money through the court system. At the end of the day, if a solicitor got hold of, lawyer got hold of that, plead guilty at court. It would stop any chances that he could plead not guilty and waste the court's fucking time, which they don't want to do. They want to. It's his job to get that out of him. But the only thing he can cling to is say, I wouldn't have done anything. There's nothing wrong with me going there. It's the only road he can go down. They both know it's bullshit, so it's just a game at the minute.
let's just say you never got divorced from your wife and you had a daughter. You said it was 10 years ago, right? Give or take, you got divorced. So let's just say as a result of that marriage, you had a daughter or a son who was 10, 12, 13 years old. And it's Friday night and you and your wife, hey honey, hey, whatever your daughter's name is, Caitlin, we're going to run out to dinner and stay out a little bit late. You can stay at home and you come to find out, they walk in, there's a 44-year-old guy from, 200 miles or 100 and something miles away. Is everybody cool with that? You're cool with that?
Well, obviously, at first, no.
At first?
Yeah, when they first walk in, it's not going to be cool. But if it was somebody like me, I don't think there's a threat.
Okay, this is kind of a bit weird, interesting. So he's allowed to do it, but nobody else is basically what he's saying, because he's a nice guy.
But how do they know what your intention is?
Where have you heard that before?
You're talking about blowjobs and picks.
Yeah, they don't.
Other issues. You're not talking about maybe some common interest of music or sports, which is also, I mean, the whole thing would be weird. I think just about everybody would think. I think you actually would too. It's unhealthy and strange. A 44-year-old guy, what's he got in touch with, in common with a 12 or 14-year-old girl? And why, if you lived in a big metropolitan area, would he drive whatever the distance was 2 hours away on a Saturday night?
Isn't that all speculation? I mean, it's
What's the speculation? I'm looking at this.
You're speculating that I was going to have sex with her tonight.
Because
It's not speculation. Speculation is when you just fucking coming up with assumptions with no evidence. He's got fucking shitloads of evidence there, pal.
I didn't say that.
You didn't say that? Well,
No.
tell me what you said.
Well, we talked about having sex, but that doesn't mean...
Isn't that strange?
It doesn't mean I was going to tonight.
He is. He goes. Initially when the chat started, as I've said, he was quite. It's kind of a reversal of what happened when he spoke to Chris Hansen. Initially, he was arrogant, and then, sort of backed down a little bit. And this is going the other way.
Well, yeah, tonight, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week.
Maybe when she's 16.
But where's that in the conversation?
I don't know, it might be
Did you
in there.
mention that?
No,
It
it might be in there. I mean, I mentioned that I was looking. I looked into like the laws and stuff about minors. I was looking into those.
Why would you do that?
No, because I was going to meet a minor, and to hang out with them.
So you knew there was an issue.
There was
Otherwise, you wouldn't research it.
Yeah, but there's an issue if you do this and this and this. But because, and this is just, I was looking, I was just like looking down the road, like let's say I did like her and she liked me, why not? I mean.
But this is somebody you've never met before.
I know. I was just thinking out loud, looking at the big picture. That's all. Doesn't mean I was going to like do what I was going, what I was.
Is that like your, lack of a better description, like your cup of tea, like you want some very young, girlfriend or bride. It's not is that like some fantasy you have, which is fine if that's what your fantasy is. I just want to know where you're coming from.
I took a liking to, particularly to her, and she happened to be.
This is through all, like, you know, chatting or texting, right?
Exactly.
Somebody you never even met.
Correct.
So for the sake of talking, it could have been, it wasn't, but it could have been me posing as this girl. You wouldn't know who you're talking
Could have
about.
been, yeah. Could have been.
It's not like you saw her or spent time with her.
Well, that's why I came down, is to see if a connection with her. If you, what was your name again?
It's Detective Kelly.
If you read all the text, I don't know if you read all of
I
it.
did not, and I probably can't digest them all right now,
Sure.
but I'm starting to try to look here.
I'm sure.
Good.
But if you read a lot of it, the exchanges between me and her, I was always aware and scared of any consequences if I was to do something.
Scared? Well, yeah, of course. I mean, you're going to elaborate on what you were scared of? Getting caught?
Like if I was to have sex with her, I would. And to be honest, yeah, of course, you know, like, from what I saw, she's, you know, beautiful and everything, but I was not going to risk.
Risk what?
I was not going to risk anything by having sex with her. I
Risk
just
what?
wanted to meet her and hang out with her, and I was going to go home.
You were gonna meet her, hang out
I
with her,
can't
and go
trust
home?
I can't trust anybody, and obviously now, you know, even more so. But
How do you think we and she feel?
well, see, I get it. I get it. You know, you guys.
We're trying to protect the innocent and the vulnerable, right?
No, but
Just like when you were that age and I was that age, you wouldn't want some guy, you know, attacking you.
If he's dangerous, yeah. Of course not.
Or maybe he just has bad intentions. When you were 12 or 14 years old, if there was some guy in your life, or appeared in your life, who's in his 40s, and is talking about having sex with you and different things, isn't it your parents and the police and the school system's job to kind of protect you from that person? And some
I do like, for an interviewer that doesn't come across initially as being what I would consider having the right sort of attributes, you know, strong personality, the voice tone, things like that. I do like some of his questions, and this is a great question. You know, he's basically putting it all on him. You know, listen, there's a system set up to protect kids from doing exactly what you've did. How can you justify your actions, basically? Just trying to guilt trip him, and you know, there's not that many people that could come out of it, you know, with any kind of comeback, really.
sometimes if you're not being like totally honest with your parents or, you know, community people, we're the only alternative sometimes we have is to do like sting type operations like this, but we'd never catch anybody. Because you're not going to tell anybody. You're so paranoid about it, you're researching the statutes. Because you know it's wrong. Right?
Right. And
I'm sure in here there's probably conversations with
and when
a girl about.
That's another great point. At the end of the day, why the fuck were you looking into it? You know, you know something's wrong. So you must have considered it. You know, I suppose he could say, you know, well, yeah, I considered it and then I thought better of it.
You didn't tell anybody about this, right? Or something like that because you're afraid of and you didn't go when the parents were home. If it's wonderful, then yeah, if your parents are home, that's great. I'd love to meet them. No, your parents aren't home, right? Kind of thing. They're away. They're not coming home. Whatever. You with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. Yes.
And I think this probably goes back a long time. This did not happen overnight. I'm a little bit older than you. You know, whatever my, you know, makeup is physiologically and emotionally and every other way, it didn't start last week. So you probably had these fantasies, desires, interests, probably your whole life, actually, or until you became an adolescent or something.
Fantasies about what?
I'm assuming younger women. And maybe as you got older, like, you wanted to stay in that realm, like, oh, the younger girls, I like them better for whatever reason. I mean, you would have to tell me what the attraction is.
It's never happened before. Never.
But we're talking like 12 years old. It's like 6th, 7th grade. You know what I mean? It's a young human being.
It keeps saying 12.
Well, you want me to use your term and say 14?
I mean, I know they're both young, but it's a little bit, different.
Is it being a teenager? Is that the big hump that you need to hear? Like, okay, she's a teenager. She's 13, she's not 12. She's 14, she's not 12.
Is that the reason that he said that? Could be a tactic. I've always said I find the difference between a 12 just sounds worse to me. Always has, much worse, even though it's only a year or two.
2 years older.
Yeah, still 2 years under the age of majority, right? Certainly not, worldly or mature enough to consent to anything, right? Doesn't have the legal right to do it, never mind. Because why? Because they're very young, so they need to be protected.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Why, if you thought I came down there to have sex, why didn't you wait and see if that happened?
Why would I want to put that?
That's a bit weird. What wait until... How could they possibly have done that? Wait until... I mean, I don't want to go into it too much because it... Do you know what I mean? Wait until he's just about to fucking do the act and he rips the clothes off that girl.
Girl that was in the house through any kind of a horrible experience that can get really out of hand really quickly.
Okay, I get you.
No offense.
I got you, but...
There was like several cops there and other able-bodied guys.
Right.
You'd be in probably some kind of pain at the end of it because if you got maybe your clothes up and you're trying to grab her, we come in not knowing what you're capable of.
I know.
Why not do it like as much as we can as a gentleman? You're seated. Chris Hansen speaks to you. You're free to go. You were compliant. We were, didn't throw you on the ground or anything. We handcuffed you. We brought you in. You know what I mean? Why would you want to take it to another level where it's horrible? And she has to go through that, several times because there's several different guys like yourself that are coming to meet her? Would you want to do that to anybody? Like, honestly.
No,
Put her, even the hug. As soon as you got there, you're trying to hug a girl that you've never met.
No, that's not true.
Well, maybe it is. I mean, I understand from your standpoint you probably want to, but from her standpoint you're a total stranger and she's probably a little freaked out by it.
She was cool with everything, just wanted to hang out and, have pizza. I mean, I honestly, that's why I was there. I just,
You need to...
My case, okay, for this is...
Right, I mean, at this point, he's not letting up, is he? Sorry. He's not... Yeah, he's not letting up at all, is he? He's sticking to his guns. The interrogation goes on for another hour, so I would imagine it's going to get quite interesting. I mean, it's not as engaged, it's not as good as some of the other interrogations, but it is. He's a interesting character, I would say, for obviously the wrong reasons. His interviewing style is very relaxed, and he's got quite a monotone voice, which I find a little bit irritating. But some of his questions is shit, and some of them are good. And it's going to be interesting to see if he coughs at the end of it. I believe he eventually went guilty at court. So, guys, could you please let me know if you have enjoyed it and if you believe there's any point carrying on with it. I think I probably will do, to be honest. It would seem pointless to start and not to finish it. We've probably got 2 more videos, maybe 3 out of this, because it is an hour and a half long. So yeah, guys, I would appreciate it if you give me any feedback and any comments about this guy and the interview. And I will speak to you very soon. Hope you're all doing okay, and take it easy.